appreciate you all coming out today. Hopefully the fans enjoyed it as well. It was great to see a big crowd out there and give you a little taste of what the team's going to look like moving forward with not having the field available and not having a spring game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, the fans enjoyed it. You know, pretty tough day to see exactly what we have with that wind blowing the way it was. You know, that makes it difficult to get the ball down the field, get some completions. Thought we started fast. Thought Devin looked good on the RPOs, some of the quick game, connecting early on and moving the football. Defensively, we did some really good things as usual. You could tell we're pretty stout up front. We're getting thin at certain positions. You notice there were some guys not out there today. Don't think to this point we have anything that's going to be over a couple weeks, so we just got a few nagging injuries. Hopefully we'll get some guys back this week, but a little bit thin in certain positions, as normally happens in the spring. Limits the ability to get as many plays as we'd like and really get as physical as we'd like as we start getting down in numbers. But we got some good work in today, and you know, we'll continue to build on it. So we had a solid week, and we need to really have a great week this week to push forward.
Even with the wind, it seemed like secondary was making some strong plays. Andrew Phillips, Jordan Lovett. How impressed are you with that group, especially losing two really key pieces?
Yeah, I think, you know, those guys are good players. They have good experience. You know, you put it together, and you know, it's kind of interesting. You look at the reps of some of the guys that we lost, but a lot of these guys have played as well. So we feel really good about this unit across the board. Like I said, I really feel like we're pretty stout up front, as good as we've been in a while. Get some good pressure on the quarterback, better than we've probably been in the past couple of years, and that always helps the secondary.
Mark, that defensive line group, how much are you just moving guys around and trying to get your best three or whatever?
Yeah, you need a bunch of guys, as you know. You're going to need players, and you're going to need depth. Those guys get banged up as well, and they get hurt, and it's a physical position, and just the rotation in general is important. So we have some flexibility there.
Mark, with Berrien sitting out today, did you like what you got from some of those guys that kind of filled in those first team reps?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, it's hard to really judge it with the wind and just completing some footballs. But yeah, that we feel like we have a good nucleus of receivers, a good 5-6 guys. You know, we obviously need some more for depth and practice purposes and just development. But we feel good about that.
Mark, what's your instant reaction to the offensive line and how they played today in the run game? I know you said you're really stout up front, so how hard it is to judge that?
Yeah, it's hard to judge. I felt like there were some lanes. You know, we put some decent runs together, and you know, overall, I felt like there was a couple of protection miscues that you know didn't help at all, where we had immediate pressure. And then there were some times where they got beat, but I think overall when we put it together, we're better, we're further along, but obviously there's a lot of work to be done.
That Cox-Weaver left tackle matchup was a good one. How is Cox coming along, and how big of a test is that for him?
He's a really good player. He really is. You know, JJ's at full strength and really looking good and playing well, and those two go at it every day, and you know, but Cox is a good player. He works hard, really good fundamentally. He got great length, so he's getting better.
What kind of touch can Devin put on the ball? He throws a lot of fastballs in a short area.
Well, I think you saw that today, partly with the wind, you know, and getting the ball out quick, and some of that where you saw those zingers were RPOs, and there were tight windows. I thought early on the completion he made to T-Rob maybe. You know, there wasn't a big window there. I was standing right behind it. Didn't look open at all. It was really nice throw. He threw it the only place it could be caught, and T-Rob made a nice catch and got some yards afterwards. But those had some zip on it. But if you floated them today, I don't think you were going to complete anything.
What have you seen Devin progress and the things you want your quarterback to do from leadership while he's just trying to learn the offense and, you know, earn the respect of his teammates and do all that part of the spring?
I think he's a very natural leader. he's trying not to force it. He's trying to earn the respect of his team and just get out there and make sure he masters his craft in his backyard at this point. But definitely has the leadership skills, and he does a lot of things behind the scenes that it doesn't have to be vocal. He spends an awful lot of time with the group, with the wideout, with wide receivers and running backs and different groups, watching film, spending time with them. So he's doing a lot of action.
Mark, you weren't able to push it down the field like get the win, but we saw Devin hit the goal ball. Really good tight coverage against Dane. Have you been pleased with how you all been able to drive it on the verticals with him early in spring and be able to make all those?
Yeah,
throws?
we're getting the ball down the field at times. You know, with some of the play action and some of the things that come with this offense, you know, our defense has the luxury of seeing it quite often and can take some things away, but you saw just a small fraction. I want to say the ones only had maybe 23 snaps today or something like that. So again, you're not seeing the complete arsenal that can come out with only 23 plays. You know, so you know, to put it all together, I think we're somewhere in the 60 range, so somewhere close to a full game. But we rotated a lot of guys.
There's been some talk about Maxwell Harrison, and he showed that they made a big hit, then had an interception. He's getting his hand on a lot of balls, supposedly. Yeah,
Maxwell's got some length. He could really run, and he's getting better. He's getting more confident out there. So he's been a pleasant surprise so far.
Mark, what's been your impression of Tanner Williams?
Tanner is a really good addition, flexible, can help us even with our tight ends being down some. We put him in there when we're trying to get physical, play him a little bit there, and you know, to help us in the run game. But very reliable and a guy that will definitely play and help us.
What about Grant Bingham? How's he coming?
He's coming along, getting better, getting some work.
D. Beckwith looked to be getting a lot more reps this time around. How has he looked, even from last year, his progression?
Yeah, he's getting better. He helps us. He's a strong guy, different change of pace. You know, we didn't want to get Ray too many reps today. I've seen Ray play a lot, unfortunately. I saw him play. So I don't really need to see too many snaps with him, but Dee's been doing a good job, and a big physical guy, and he made some nice cuts today.
Mark, I think one of the rooms that might be getting a little thin would be the inside linebacker room, but when they have been on the field, how are the guys behind D-Jack and Trevin been?
Yeah, we're just kind of by committee right now. We're really getting thin, and you know, it's nice to be able to move Keaton inside, and you know, a guy like that's so long, and he's a good football player wherever you play.
Mark, this might be a stretch, but being so windy today, is there anything beneficial that you could kind of listen and say who's making excuses and who's just fighting through it no matter what the conditions?
I think most of the guys understood the conditions here and there, and you know, anytime you're in a competitive environment and you got the media out there with your cameras, they want to make plays. You know? So,
Mark, a lot of the talk this spring's been about Jagger making that transition to center. How have you liked what you've seen from him, and maybe just the progression from day one to now?
Well, I mean, he's getting better with every opportunity. You know, even today, you know, it probably hurt us on some of the rushes at times. He was a fraction off on the timing, but he's getting better. The snaps, if I remember right today, you guys probably had it, but they seemed like there was nothing that was something we couldn't handle. You know, so the snaps are getting more consistent. The timing, you know, there's a lot to it right there. You got those big jokers right across from you. You know, you got to snap the ball, he's got to be on time, and then he's got to execute his assignment and get it done. So it's a little different, but he's getting better.
Mark, how do you think they responded to what you had to say last week?
I think we had a better week. Overall, the commitment was higher, and you know, we're not perfect, but you know, if we continue to really just grind and work hard and put forth the effort, then good things will happen.
And how do you see the relationship between Devin and Liam developing?
Yeah, I think that's easy, you know, really easy for them. They're both guys that, you know, are junkies that are up there watching film, and Devin is a very bright guy. He's been around, and you know, so I think that's a very easy transition.
Mark, you brought up Tavion. He was really transparent this week about some of the mistakes he made last year, mindset, attitude-wise. How have you seen him sort of correct those so far this year, and how that's affecting him on the field?
Yeah, I think, you know, I thought today he was a little stronger even early on, and some 7-on-7 and some things at the top of the routes, finishing strong. He has the ability to be strong, you know, to catch some tough competitive catches, and we need him to do that. You know, he's got some experience, he's been around a while, and so we've got to have him play with that competitive spirit that we're looking for all the time. And you know, when things are good, when things are bad, you know, whatever, to your point, whoever asked me that question earlier, you know, however things are going, I'm sorry. No, he's just got to play at that level, at a very high level all the time, and we've challenged him to do that.
Coach, how have some of the players with long-term injuries been progressing, such as Ramon Jefferson and Josh Caddis? I saw them out there today, just wasn't sure how far they're come on.
Yeah, all the guys, and I don't see any setbacks from anybody that's had the long-term injuries. You know, we got the guys that are out with postseason surgeries, and they're getting better, and we need them out there.
Has Devin said anything about just missing the tight ends? You know, I'm sure that'll be an added piece once they get back.
Well, I think, you know, of course, I think that doesn't help. You know, we're missing those guys both in the run game and in the pass game.